Hi, and welcome
to the Faxon blog and podcast.
They are the ones who play by the rules. It's not, the after school special TV show where you see the gangster open up the trunk of a Cutlass and has all these, guns with serial numbers grinded off on them. I've been tuning into mostly, some of your most recent content when it comes to basically this gun run and in light of the pandemic, and especially how it's being publicized. And you even had an article that came out just a couple of days ago about how a lot more Americans are learning what goes into buying a gun, that there's more to it. And also dispelling some of the myths that people could just like walk in, hand over some cash and pick up a gun from, a reputable dealer. So if you wouldn't mind just kind of give us the overview of what you've been seeing and kind of what the general sentiment has been, I think we'd like to hear that.
Well, yeah, I think the narratives that have been pushed by a lot of anti-gunners like Dianne Feinstein and all kinds of politicians that guns are too easy to get in this country. Anybody can go online and with one click get a gun. That's all being dispelled for an awful lot of people now, because during this big gun run, you're getting a lot of first-time buyers. We've talked to retailers all across the country, Florida, Illinois, Washington State, here in Texas. They're all saying the same thing. They're getting a lot of first-time buyers. A lot of people who are on the fence or never even considered buying a gun. They hear that there's now officially a national emergency. They start thinking that, in a national emergency situation, police may have other things to do and other priorities, and handling a break-in, what may have been a 5-minute response time, which is still a lot when you think about it, but what may have been a 5-minute response time may now be a half an hour response time, if that, who knows? The other complicating factor, something we wrote about today, is a lot of police departments around the country are deciding not to arrest lower level offenses. And by lower level, they mean drugs, burglary, robbery, car theft, that type of thing. Some jurisdictions like Los Angeles and a few others are starting to empty their jails of quote unquote nonviolent offenders, trying to, obviously keep fewer people in proximity inside those jailhouses. It's kind of hard to do social distancing inside a jail cell. So that's in fact exactly why all these people are lining up outside gun stores all over the country. And what they're finding is it's not an easy process. If you're unfortunate to live in Illinois, and actually there's about 3 or 4 other places too, you can't just walk in and buy a gun. If you don't already have a firearm owner's ID card, you are out of luck. You better start the application process. And if you're lucky, before that took 60 days. In fact, that was so long before that the Second Amendment Foundation had sued the state over the ridiculous delays it was taking to get the state's permission to just walk into a gun store and pick up a handgun and look at it. But if now in an emergency situation, good luck. I think that 60 days is probably out the window. You're probably looking at I'm guessing twice that. Yeah. Not to mention the fact that the Illinois State Police, whoever their staff is behind the scenes that process these things, you don't know if they've cut back on staff, close quote unquote non-essential offices and other functions in order to keep more people at home. In short, it's not as easy as people think to buy a firearm. You can't just click on the internet and have one sent to your house. Talked to a gun maker here in Texas, Black Collar Firearms today, and they're getting all kinds of calls, including from California, saying, wait, you can't just mail one to my house? What's going on here?
Sure.
And, okay, I'll get it sent to my FFL. Wait, I've got to wait 10 days after it gets here before I can pick it up? Are you kidding me?
Right. Now,
hopefully this is a big wake-up call.
And obviously, I think people very frequently, even outside of the pandemic, forget to realize that, these FFLs, these reputable dealers, these actual real stores and shops, and even online dealers, they are the ones who play by the rules. It's not, the after school special TV show where you see the gangster open up the trunk of a Cutlass and has all these, guns with serial numbers grinded off on them. Those aren't the actual people who are going to adhere to all these rules, just like you're saying in Illinois, just like, we have friends in Jersey who are friends of the brand.
Right.
They have, their whole own set of issues. Obviously, California has its own set of issues.
Hi and welcome. The Faxon blog and podcast.